Hello, everybody, and welcome. We're D&D Boyband, a group of friends that all like to be D&D pretty boys because apparently it's not fantasy unless everybody's hot. We're back. It's all of us this time. My name is Jamie, and joining me tonight are a brand new group of heroic adventurers. First of all, we have Ben as Mercy,
Live long and prosper.
Erin as Toad.
That's copyrighted.
It's
Hi.
Hello, Sai as Quan. Not Aku. Clued as Casimir.
Hello there.
Not Barnes or Rasha. Eski as Pod.
Hello.
And last but not least, Luke as Arvus.
Again, last not least, kind of weird, but still, let's go with it. Hey.
I'll mix it up one day when I just put you to the top. We'll just rotate round. Before we begin, I didn't check if we have any announcements.
Oh,
we have one big one, right?
We got two announcements. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
I wrote them down. Wait, where are they?
We do.
We do have two announcements. The first one I'm not prepared for, but I'm gonna prepare it really quick. So Jamie, you can start doing the first announcement.
Is the first announcement a thank you to Jen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Give me a moment to put the image on here.
So,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Jen, our resident artist who has drawn everybody now, including my NPC Fazul, which I believe is coming up. He is super talented. I'm very, very grateful. People don't really draw NPCs, so yeah, I love it very much. There has been some discussion about kinks in the Discord, which you can go and read yourselves.
Interesting.
I feel as though I invent characters and other people decide their sexualities, but that's fine.
I
As you
mean,
can see on the stream
BRB
now.
checking Discord.
I learned some things. I learned that I can't wear those necklaces apparently. But
you can
Yeah.
if you want to. There just might be some,
I don't.
miscommunications.
What are we talking? Is this a choker? What are we talking about?
no.
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 What chat is this in? Is this just in chat?
It's in Boyband art. There's an
Oh, in art.
education on the history of the circle ring and what that means. And symbols
cool.
to the
There's a
world.
gonna go
very famous Barbie doll that's released, I think, in the 90s, or was it the 80s, which was Magic Ring Ken, which became the best-selling Barbie doll of all time, but then also very quickly got discontinued because it was only being purchased by the male queer community. Because of a very special ring necklace that Ken was wearing.
I'm just
Fair.
Ken.
If you want more details, go to the D&D Boyband Discord server. We
I knew
will
Fazul was
educate
a Ken. No intellect. Anywhere else he'd be a 10.
Yes, thank you very much, Jen.
Yes.
Anyway.
I guess I'll do the next update. Real quick one. Schedule update. We will be playing on a different day next week because two lucky ducks in this party, which is Mr. DM Jamie and Madame Clued, have got tickets to go see the Critical Role live show that's happening here in London. So, very jealous. I hope you guys have an amazing time, and that means that D&D night will be moving to Thursday, same time, same channel, same place, but just on Thursday night. So hopefully you guys can come join us, and if you are not able to make it, we will make sure that we get the VOD up nice and quick, so you guys can catch up over the weekend, and join us again when we return on Wednesday the following week. So, hope to see you then. Don't know why I did a double finger guns.
Hoping to get close enough to Matt to like passively via osmosis absorb some ability, and mostly just voice acting power, which is missing.
Maybe you'll get an Irish accent.
You have a really good Irish accent.
Maybe you'll
It's
get
true. No. Not too close to Taliesin though.
Oh, wow, the shade.
Matt shades him. It's really funny. Don't let the DM who's actually better accents than you do your accents. None of you have that problem. Anyway, so all good to go? Nothing else? So, hello everyone. Last session, the group decided not to take a long rest and instead run after Ilara and managed to find where she was being kept after going through some trials through the swamp. going through a puzzle that there was some questioning about the logic of the puzzle, but that's fine. I will not be accepting criticism again this session. And you freed Alara after sneaking around the encampment and decided not to save the other prisoner who was being held there, but did leave him a dagger, so potentially he can free himself. Arvus and Mercy, the two people primarily sneaking around, returned. You discussed the information that you'd found in Razor's camp, learning about her potential alliance with the giants she was seeking out, her current alliance with the elves, and hoping to find out more. You also understood that Corin of the other team seems to be working against them. You have resolved to go to Reedhome to catch up with Razor and Naliska and head them off or intercept them with the other party so that you can all work together. Or at least that's what Alara thinks is the plan. Whether or not it will be quite so wholesome is up to you. At the end of the there was a mind meld dream where you learned a little bit about the weave, saw it from Mercy's point of view, understood a little bit more about Quan, and met a charming Eladrin who didn't speak because I can't do Irish accents. So, D&D Boyband, you are all awake or waking up. It's not a pleasant place, the swamp. It smells, there are flies, the kind of blue tinge of the Kai's sun, Horologium during this time, kind of comes through the trees. Little specks along the ground, but the air is heavy, thick with moisture. This is your first real day this deep in as you go, and the conditions are getting more and more unpleasant. Do any of you wish to discuss the night's?
Well, I believe we were left a red letter from
Well,
a certain handsome devil, so...
Yes, Arvus was.
Yeah, and I made that known to the group, didn't I, that I have it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, remind me, are we camping in rurality? Or where do we stay? Where do we sleep? What was above our heads?
Trees, leaves, trunks, boulders if you could find them, kind of rested over. You weren't. I mean, you've got tents. You would have set them up, but you're not like on a road on the side. You guys have long gone off the beaten path in pursuit of Alara and are now making your way what you presume is the best direction through the swamp based on Casimir's memory of maps.
Cool, thank you.
Were we melding for the entire night's rest?
I believe that's the purpose.
Yes, the meld lasts as long as you need to sleep for. So if you have a different sleep requirement, then you can still participate in the meld and get a full night's rest.
So do we all wake up at the same time then? I guess if you need 8 hours.
Not everyone was involved in the meld. I believe pointedly Arvus and Casimir were not.
Does that imply we've woken up earlier?
I can read the meld text from my racial document that... oh no, spoilers. So...
Hit enhance, zoom in.
No. Okay, so... Instead of sleeping, you enter a trance-like meditation that lasts for 8 hours. In this state, you can dream, and if another creature agrees to share this meld with you, you can share all dreams and can communicate with them. Melded. Until the next long rest, you and any allies who shared an 8-hour meld are considered melded. Melded allies feel temporarily unburdened by problems shared during the meld, and will feel friendlier towards other creatures they shared the meld with. Allies who do not require an 8-hour long rest, such as elves or warforged, can become melded provided they participate in the meld for the length of their race's long rest requirements. Allies temporarily leaving the meld for the purposes of doing a night watch can rejoin the meld and still gain the melded status if they complete their long rest. If the meld
Shall we?
Oh, sorry. Last bit is, if the meld facilitator is interrupted during the 8-hour period, for example combat or taking a turn for night watch, the meld is unsuccessful and participants do not gain the melded status. However, you can still share dreams and communicate during a partial meld. If a melded ally attacks you, your ally loses the melded status. The maximum number of creatures you can facilitate in a shared meld is equal to something that will be revealed later.
Okay. So yeah, I will say that doesn't necessarily mean they've woken up early. You can all decide when you wake up. Given the night you've all had, you're all probably fairly tired.
And we'd assume somebody at some point had been on watch over the evening.
We
Have you
didn't.
specified it?
Elara, I assume, because she was not.
No,
in the
Lara was not in the meld, but Lara has been sleeping soundly. None of you were on watch.
Ugh. Well, Casimir was up at his obnoxious 5:30 in the morning and has been jogging through some peat to stay in shape as per usual.
Does that mean he's covered in peat?
Yeah, and he's prestidigitating it off himself as he walks,
Whoa.
with flags of mud flying through the air. Some might land on Quan's tent.
You're up early, mate.
Not particularly. This is standard fare. Have to stay in shape. We're on a dangerous mission. Can't pay to be lazy, can it?
How is Casimir's physique?
Yeah, he looks pretty in shape. Like, he does a lot of running. He's kind of like slim in the kind of footballer physique rather than... You know this man can't lift heavy shit to save his life. You know that if he had a trunk, you would have to pick it up for him. But he can definitely run a long distance and maybe kind of fast.
The melded folks. Sorry.
That's right. I was going to say, right. Well, you see anything of interest or of note on your travels?
More species of fly and bog insect than I'd care to recall, but recall them I shall.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Reminds me too much of home. Even though that was a city.
I don't recall bog flies in the piers, Arvus.
Ah, mate, if you ain't seen flies in the piers, you ain't been to the piers.
No, true. I've only passed through. When do we wake up the others from their ritual? Whatever it is they're doing, holding hands. Are they all just holding hands, sat lying down in a circle?
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Are we stuffed into a tent, or are we just outside, just like lying in a pile?
I think we
Are
were
we cold?
I think we were outside at the campfire and laying or sitting in a circle, however people chose to sleep. You could be holding hands if you want, but it's not necessary.
Yeah, what do you make of that? Oh,
It's ridiculous.
find it somewhat disturbing.
Absolutely. Can't imagine anything worse than sharing in the dreams of the lunatics we're travelling with.
That's for sure. And I thought about maybe disturbing one of them just to see if they are, well, still with us. You know, they kind of gone.
Indeed. I give them an hour, and if not, I'm pushing them in the swamp.
Well, I'll be honest with you, mate. We got bigger problems, and that is I am not a chef.
That is a problem. Nor am I. So we're both unable to make breakfast.
Well, I could make breakfast. I just don't know if it necessarily be according to everybody's communal palate.
Maybe we give them half an hour before we push them in the swamp. I'm sort of hungry, so...
Fair enough. What are you eating, mate?
What am I eating? I mean...
Did you just say you were hungry?
No, I am. I just, I can't cook, so... I'm sort of at the mercy of somebody who can waking up, is all.
Well, I've got a few rations here, of course, which we chased for the journey. But also picked up something a little special before we left.
Special? How?
Well, if you leave a nice bit of pork out in the sun. And he pulls out a piece of meat, which is not too big, but it's like a very grey piece of pork.
It rots, yes.
Well, something of a delicacy in some places. Something turns, it just gets this little bit of...
DM, does the grey pork look safe to eat? Do you know, I think I'll wait for the paladin. If he's good for anything, it's probably the kitchen, so I'll just leave it for now. Thank you for the offer of the grey pork.
That is really offensive.
He got wife mom energy.
That's what he means. Good job last night, Arvus, by the way. And he looks like really affronted at himself for complimenting someone else. That was quite a thing you and Mercy did. Very impressive. Sneaking in and recovering Alara like that.
Yeah, well, mostly Mercy's doing, mate. I was taking it along. Oh,
Alara made it sound like it was you that got her out personally, so...
Well, I was there.
Not bad for a carpenter. Or joiner, or
this...
fixer, or whichever it is you're meant to be.
Oh, men of many professions, as you well know.
I sure do. And I suppose he'll kind of just peacefully wait for Quan to wake up and make him breakfast. And he, as per usual, kind of buries his head in his spell book. And Arvus, I guess actually as someone with some arcane doings, you'll note that he's not casting spells, he's sort of starting parts of it, trying something, then restarting. Kind of like somebody, maybe to your eyes, trying to make something. It seems like it's a process, and there are little kind of fizzes and bangs every once in a while as sparks fly around his fingers.
Yeah, and Arvus probably actually comes over, sort of entertained somewhat by the sparks. He stood there and he's just wiping a bit of, I guess, cutlery or whatever it comes with, the sort of canteen set with a cloth. He's sort of watching you for a minute. He goes, "Magic, eh? Bit of you, that."
Yes, it is. Is there a question?
Yeah, never really spoken to a mage about the arcane.
Ah.
That's the word, right? It's arcane? Yeah. Arcane?
Yes, it is. Although... Yes, it is the arcane. No, I don't know why I paused.
Right. So, how's it work then?
How does it work? How does magic work? How does all of the arcane work?
Well, not all of it, mate. And I know a little bit about a little piece here and there, a few tricks, a few learned things, a few trial and errors. But, yeah, the way you do it, mate.
The way I do it? Well, the way I do it is split into two. The way I interface with spells as per your standard mage is typical of any wizard's interaction with the weave. It's pulling things out via runes, structured thought, equations, all of that. It's fairly standard. I mean, I'm trying to innovate around it because, frankly, I don't want my fire orange. It's boring. Little bits of flair. For me, the other half, the necromancy side, is different. And I can't tell you how that works, to be perfectly honest. And I suppose part of what I'm doing every morning at 6 is trying to figure that out.
Right. Sounds very, esoteric.
That's a word for it, yes. I've not really found anyone that casts magic quite in the way that I do, you understand?
I see. Well, I've noticed it is very intricate, but,
I wouldn't say that's too uncommon with what I've seen from other mages in many regards. But it has always bothered me that many of you don't seem to know that if you mix cinnamon with gold filings, you can change the way you appear to others, provided you know the temperatures and the proportions at which you mix it at.
Its physical matter's a bit tedious, I find.
Oh, mate, you ask me, it's a fucking shortcut.
So is that what you do then? You cast magic detection last night?
Oh, well,
Talents
yeah, well,
yourself?
suppose so. It's more a bit of know-how, you know. I like to think of it as putting 2 and 2 together. Sometimes 3 and 3. Sometimes 3 and 2.
Oh, don't tell Toad. He'll be overjoyed. Those are numbers he understands. He doesn't mean that maybe like entirely as viciously as it sounds. I think it sounds nasty because from a general human perspective who understands numbers, that's pretty demeaning. But I think he probably, and I don't know how insightful Arvus is, but it does come from a place of, I'm proud that Toad knows what 2 and 3 are. That's really good for him.
Arvus doesn't even think to question it. He's just, whether it's, you know, a slight or otherwise, he's just whatever.
Well, again,
Yeah,
Arvus,
mate.
not bad for a
Oh,
carpenter.
yes. Well, listen, mate, you know, it's been my job for a while. It's what I do. I try things out. Well, listen, mate, do listen. I might occasionally lose concentration or find things a bit boring. I've looked into the books before. I've seen them from not afar, not up close either, but I knew it weren't for me, mate. But I'm rather fascinated by the arcane.
If you have any questions, you can always ask me. I have spent the better part of my life reading every book I could find on the subject, so if it's common knowledge, I'll know it. If it's esoteric knowledge, I'll probably also know it.
Sounds like a deal, mate. As long as you can keep a nice summary, of course. Like I say, golden cinnamon, mate. Golden cinnamon.
And likewise, keep me abreast of your concoctions and things. It's useful. Any knowledge is useful. Maybe I am missing a trick.
I'm working on a little something, but I'll show you when it's ready, of course.
Speaking of working on something and material ingredients, he looks back at the circle of people who have still not woken up. I think it's time for breakfast. He's gonna grab a slipper and chuck it at someone.
Okay, those of you in the meld,
He probably chucks it at Mercy.
your peaceful co-conversing is immediately raptured as each of you feel something hit you on the head.
Wait, I want to try and catch the slipper.
Oh, it's a
You're
monk.
you're not
DM,
conscious
it's a
of
monk.
it.
DM, it's a monk. Come on.
Is a slipper a missile?
I see the future.
True.
Improvised weapon?
Did Mercy foresee you being hit by a slipper this morning?
Yeah.
Have you been hit? Right, okay. Have you roll an attack roll with the slipper?
Yeah?
Yeah, because
Okay.
you'd be hit by it. We're going this by the rules.
It's a 2?
Mercy catches the slipper.
Yeah.
But no key points needed.
Turns. You'll be needing this.
But that's not mine, that's Pod's.
Why did you
Pods.
throw it?
Pod still asleep.
Because I want breakfast.
Why did you lie just then?
I do want breakfast. I don't know what you're talking about.
Why did you say that this was Pod's slipper? A small and unnecessary lie. Why?
Because
Was it conscious or did you do it automatically?
kind of like a scolded child, I think he chews the inside of his cheek and he says, because it's ridiculous having slippers out in a swamp. I'm conscious of that fact, so I thought I would disguise it by making Pod seem like the idiot, not myself. Also, it was automatic and I can't help myself.
I understand.
Great.
Here's your slipper back.
I don't want it anymore.
Would you like me to carry it for you?
Carry both. He'll chuck the other one.
Okay, as you wish. I believe that you were hungry. Shall I make something?
If you don't mind. Yes.
Have you ever had cave bear skin?
I can't say I have, no.
It's a dwarven delicacy, I understand.
That sounds exciting. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I believe I have some left in my bag. Takes a sheet of what looks like vellum. It's distinctly hairless, and starts a small fire, and then just tucks this sheet of what looks like leather just into the fire.
Are you sure it's edible? It looks more like it belongs in a tannery.
Yes, it looks a lot like the skin of a cave bear, which is exactly what it is. But I understand that it's quite nice. I find it quite chewy myself.
You know, we're in a swamp. I will eat anything. And that isn't Arvus's grey, dodgy pork.
Mercy looks over. Do you have some grey, dodgy pork left?
You don't see any.
Okay. It must have been eaten. What
Are
kind
you
of...
addressing Arvus directly?
No, talking to Casimir. What kind of meat was it?
Pork. Grey and dodgy. How was your ritual? Did you unlock the mysteries of the world with our friends? Are you all bonded and feeling very warm and fuzzy together this morning?
You are, actually, all of you. There's a closeness that has come with the meld that, as much as Casimir might make light of it, is palpable. Yeah.
Feel more like they're one of us. One of me. One of we.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Strange.
Are the others waking up, or...?
Yeah,
Yes, for everyone else.
I would say Toad's woken up by now and kind of stretching and... Good morning, everyone. How did you sleep? I slept fantastic, and he actually looks so like... He never really looks particularly down, but it's almost like colors return to his face, and he just he looks so refreshed, and it looks like he's just gotten back from like a 3-week holiday where he's done nothing but be in spas the entire time, which honestly is what I need right now. But that's how he looks. And he looks very, very refreshed. How'd you sleep, Casimir?
Brilliant.
Oh, that's great. What about you, Arvus?
Slept like a fucking wet stone, mate.
That's...
Normally I,
How do wet
Give me
stones
some.
sleep?
Yeah, what? Specifically a wet stone. Is it like a wet stone or a wet stone?
Who's asking? Who's asking Arvus?
This is Claude asking.
All right.
I think
What
Quan might have
Arvus
asked.
meant was a stone that is wet, but did Quan ask?
No, I mean, me as a player, I'm just curious what the fuck that means.
But not a wet stone, but a wet stone.
A wet
Like,
stone.
like the thing you sharpen, or like a stone that is wet?
The latter.
Okay. Just checking I didn't miss something in English class here. Like that's not like an actual phrase, right, guys?
No, that's on Luke.
Why me? Is my character?
A damp stone, if you will.
A moist stone, if you will.
Should we move on from the stone and its degree of humidity?
Well, that sounds like you slept fantastically, Arvus. I'm very pleased to hear that.
Lara
Yeah, mate.
stirs
Beautiful.
slightly. Makes to kind of, wake up and comes by the campfire and stares into it. Good morning, everyone.
It was a shame you did not join us. We each travelled through each of our dreams, visited memories from the various pasts.
Oh, sounds wonderful. Maybe next time.
Thoughts, it's memory sharing.
Well, it's not always a memory. Sometimes it's a dream. It depends on how your brain works, I suppose.
In that case, mate, what's Mercy's favourite dish?
Mercy?
That's the toad.
Oh, to me? Why would I know what Mercy's favourite dish is?
Sort of usually holding hands and sharing and that, so you know things about Mercy now, and Mercy knows a thing or two about you, right?
Well, it doesn't quite work like that. It's not like we know everything about each other. We just saw bits of the weave. It was all like strings everywhere. It was beautiful.
You saw the strings of the weave.
Yes.
Hmm.
And we saw how the weave doesn't really wrap around you, Quan. That was really interesting. It was like a stone, a wet stone in a river, but the river's parting around the stone.
So, DM, am I conscious? Because I feel like that's a valid question these days.
Yep. but definitely in game, outside of game.
Pod's awake as well, right?
Yeah, everyone's awake.
Oh, Pod, Eski, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
Boomer. You're still on
You
mute.
still
Christ, it
muted.
is Zoom on 2020.
You're such a fucking.
Oh, we can hear you now. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't realize I was on mute. I'm so sorry.
it's okay.
I'm a huge boomer, apparently.
It's
I get the
2020.
boomer award.
Oh
I get the
my
boomer
god!
award.
It's Zoom 2020! No, I don't want to go back! Oh my god! I didn't realise I was on
Hi
mute
guys,
this
can you
whole
hear me?
time!
Now
I'm
I
not a
need someone
cat.
to connect
I'm not
into.
a cat judge. I'm not a cat judge, I promise.
I think you're on mute. Oh, am I on
Oh,
mute?
am I mute? Or when
I
someone
can't-
connects
I
on
can't-
both their phone and their laptop and begins feedbacking really
I
loud
can't
and they
do-
can't hear what's going on.
I can't do this, guys. Please stop triggering me.
You're even wearing a
I
suit.
don't want to go back. I can't go back.
Anyway, no. Pod is probably doing a few prayers in the morning and has just woken up. He's not entirely in tune with the conversation.
Cool.
I mean, obviously, he personally, other than the Weave one, wouldn't have been like surprised by any of the dreams. I guess he probably would have seen some of the Toad ones before, or heard about it. I guess I don't know. That's up for you to decide. But
Yeah,
I
think
personally
so.
imagine that.
All right. Oh, don't try and.
I mean,
make
we're
it-
close like that. You know, it's just like
We're tight.
we're tight like that. I know. You don't feel bad. It's just how it
Yeah,
is.
DM, just to mention, I also did some prep this morning so that I don't let this other person make me feel inadequate.
It's just Pod and Quan, and it's like kind of across from the fireplace, both quietly praying to their god, but like
Could you make a
competitively.
religion check
It's-
for me?
It's a new form of PvP,
Is that-
but it's
can I-
prayer versus prayer.
Can I also do a religion check? I feel like
you can do a religion check, yeah.
Cool,
and
yeah,
if
I
you want to
feel
cast
like I
divine
should.
inspiration, that's fine too. Oh, sorry, divine intervention.
I don't think I'm even allowed. What?
No, you're not allowed.
I don't have that yet.
What is the role from both of you
Wait,
then?
what's
Who's praying
religion
hardest?
again?
Fine.
Wait,
It's
oh,
intelligence, I think, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's wisdom.
No, it's wisdom.
okay. Wait, shit, what's my wisdom?
Intelligence, I think.
Is it? Oh,
I think
yeah,
it's like
it is.
knowledge about religion, which is odd.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, it's kind of lame, innit? Should be like a
Stupid.
faith score you have as a divine Catholic.
Yeah.
I've always found it amusing in that sense. I just got a flat 10, so very average prayer this morning. You know, he's still a bit sleepy. He's distracted by the dreams.
What's your
So
prayer?
it was a late night, right? We've been traveling.
Yeah, exactly.
Quan, is yours a 4?
Yeah.
Both sit down. And Quan, you can't help but remember that the last time you reached out to some figure, you're relying on it seemed to make it weaker. And that you sense that that presence is still there, but you're nervous and scared about reaching out to it again. And that holds you back. So Pod wins the prez.
What? Sorry.
Oh, fuck off.
That's not in character. That's me as a person. That's character wouldn't do
Stands
that.
up. Boom. Great.
Kellenville is the best. I knew it.
I
He's
guess
not a glossy
Toad's
type, he
asking.
wouldn't do that.
Yeah, Toad's asking Quan about the weave.
Yes, so anyway, so it was like, as we were seeing it in the dream, it was like a river parting around a rock, and that rock was Quan, and basically the weave just like wouldn't even touch Quan. It's just like Mercy said.
Okay, question, DM.
Yes.
When they're talking about the weave here, like, is this as someone who doesn't necessarily know or believe in the weave?
Yep.
Is
When
this
you were in-
something we feel? Is this something like?
When you were asleep, dreaming with the others, you see this as dreaming, but you were walking through these like various strands that kind of went on forever, and they were linked to each of the other people except for you. And as you moved, you kind of saw it, and you saw it as like Pod or Mercy or Toad moved, and like it affected everything around them. You were just walking through it, and it kind of moved around you, except when all of you came to the end and just looked out over a large void.
Yeah, no, I get that, but like, as a person, like, do I recognize that as the weave? Like, this is described as such, or it's a feeling, but like, do I necessarily know that's exactly what it is, or like?
Yeah, you imagine that Toad is referencing the dream. How you feel about it and whether or not you think it's real is probably up to you. You might just think it's a dream.
Actually, that's a good point.
I think Quan would, Jamie, because before we did, Mercy mentioned that they don't dream; they just weave walk. So they just explore it. So with that, having said that, and then I guess they saw some stuff. They probably would put it together. Right?
Yeah, you'd understand this to be, what everyone else is talking about. The weave, it's just something you've never seen before and don't fully understand.
No, but like that's based on what Mercy has said. It doesn't necessarily mean that Quan believes in it.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
taking Mercy's word for it, right?
Yeah, you understand this is what everyone else is talking about, but you can have your own feelings and thoughts about it. But it's not something you've ever seen before.
Yeah, well, Quan's a conspiracy theorist, so he doesn't believe that the Earth is flat, and he also doesn't believe in the weave, so deal with it.
It's all logical.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I do remember that in the dream. It's hard to say, right? I don't really have any memories, so it's could be anything. Anyway, Casimir, I see you're looking slightly pale. Have you drunk water, eaten food today?
I've neither hydrated nor fed myself, no.
I see. What's the breakfast plan, team?
Mercy was making leather? Fried leather, is that what you're doing?
It's actually just ready. Here, and he pulls out what looks like pork, like crackling, mixed with untanned leather. It's very dark. It's slightly kind of puckered but all in all, it looks a lot like jerky that's been put into a bonfire.
I think Casimir's eyes look quite mournfully at Quan, and he might be saying with his expression something like, help me.
Mercy just takes some tongs and like tears a long strip out of the whole, like, we're talking like a foot by foot.
How proud does Mercy look at this meal that they've made?
A distinctly mid. Like neither proud nor disgusted.
Does it look? Can I tell that it's something that Mercy may have eaten many times before, or?
Yeah, I'm.
The feeling you get from this meal is of deep functionality. There is like, this will sustain you, and it is food. But there's no flair. There's no personality.
Casimir, here, take a strip.
Thank you.
Be careful, it's quite hot.
He takes it, and even the kind of smoking, sizzling, he doesn't flinch at all as he takes it. And he'll take a very tentative nibble. Is it edible to him?
Yeah, it's rough. It's chewy, but it's edible. I'm not going to ask you for a con saving throw.
This looks wonderful, Mercy, thank you. Although, vegetables, we don't have any vegetables in our meal. I mean, that's the right way to start off breakfast. And he starts getting some actual food out of his bag. And I guess I have a frying pan.
Yeah?
Like, there's no way I leave without some sort of pot.
Yeah, you guys have left behind many of your supplies that could be horse carry, but you each have rations. You have backpacks with stuff. I'm like, you guys haven't been far enough away for long enough from civilization that I'm going to say you guys are running out of food. So yes, and especially someone as powerful as Quan could absolutely carry a saucepan around.
What?
Okay, so I'm gonna like just grab some like random items of like dried fruits and nuts and like I guess whatever I have that's kept in my bag, and it's gonna look like a pile of shit, but somehow he's gonna throw it all together and make a meal out of it. How that turns out is
would you like any of these? And Toad will pick some of the mushrooms off of his mossy shoulder and offer them to Quan.
That is so kind of you, Toad. We are just fine. Maybe later. Thank you.
Oh.
I would immediately jump in and go, "Don't mind if I do," and just like grab one.
There you go. Enjoy.
He quite likes them. There's like a nice snack to him. He's never.
What food was that? Sorry.
Some mushrooms for my shoulder. Would you like one?
Shoulder mushrooms.
They have a bit of like a nutty flavour. Here you go, and he'll offer one to Arvus.
You can't eat these things, mate. They'll kill you.
No, they won't. Here, I'll. See, Pod's just eaten one.
Dad, are any of those hallucinogenic? Are they what's powering your nightly rituals?
No, not the mushrooms.
One looks slightly green as he watches Pod eating the mushroom off Toad's shoulder. And I guess DM, I'm gonna make an attempt at cooking.
Sure. While you're cooking, who's got the highest passive perception?
It ain't me.
Quan's distracted, so
I have a 17 passive perception.
Damn, this boy sees everything.
Yeah.
All wisdom, nothing else. No
There is
brains.
so
just
Pod,
white.
while this is happening, the rest of you are distracted by the smell beginning to approach you. From the northeast, you see as like a long gnarled hand seems to like reach around a tree, and a hunched over hooded humanoid looking figure and kind of begins almost, well, so you see like a nose poke out from the hood, almost like sniffing the air, and begin to walk towards you.
How
It's
big
carrying a
does
large
it look?
backpack. No bigger than any of you. Smaller, in fact. About 5'5".
Does it?
What is the creature? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
A hunched, hooded figure. A long
Yeah, figure, yes.
nose.
Does any part of their physiology immediately look like can I glean anything of the species? Like what color is the skin?
So, make an active perception check.
Sure. Yeah, Pod tries to, recall what he saw. It's a 21.
21. Okay. You see the occasional thing that there's some like rough brown, almost like texture of bark skin underneath. There's kind of a little bit of hair you see that seems green. Across kind of their robes, there's like tiny bioluminescent fungi that seem to be dimly lit. Reminds you of Toad a tiny bit. The robes are fairly tattered, kind of made of woven reeds, swamp plants. Very well camouflaged. You're surprised. You understand why you haven't thing, and you see that kind of now they've approached a little bit more. Pulling along something behind them, almost looks like a cart.
Does their demeanor seem like they're stalking?
About their approach. 50 feet.
I mean, I guess Pod would wait, like keeping an eye, seeing like literally unbothered, just as if it's another creature that's nearby, until it got a little bit closer. And if it gets any closer than like 30 feet, he'll give it a wave, and just as if like anyone else would have seen it, just like not pointing out, hey, there's something over there to anyone else. He'd just be like, oh, hi there, you here for breakfast?
As you, rest of you hear that, you look around. Did you tips over? Just see kind of hurry to put it up and then turn it around.
Does it look really distressed about the cart?
Yes.
Okay, Pod will get up to go immediately help this poor creature.
Careful, Pod.
Oh no, it's fine.
You could be raised as a servant.
I don't think so.
And as you set us away, you get a look on some floating in mysterious, some with like mysterious liquids floating in them, other kind of half step. Just a fairly odd thing. So it looks like someone's grabbed an alchemy shelf, left it alone for a swamp in a couple of years, and has pulled it up here. Thank you. So kind to an old woman. Hello.
Could I? How would I tell? Like, I have the feet Fey touched, and I want to know if I get any sort of Fey smell, Fey vibe.
Go for it.
What would that be? What role would you like for that?
Good night.
Yeah, make a
Can I
make a nature
also
check. Nature
Make
check for all of you.
a nature check for that. Oh god, I got
Yep.
+0. Oh, it's a nat 1. Absolutely no
Yeah.
chance.
Oh,
better not be a
Cheeky
hack.
14.
It's better not be a hack.
Jamie,
Yeah.
I rolled a 7, but I have a background feature which I think would be useful in this scenario, which I will
Okay.
read out now.
I will never forgive Luke for this, just FYI.
What?
Yes.
Drawing attention to background
Embrace.
features.
Embrace the game.
My background feature, Feychild. I have a feature called Fairy Bond. It says, you share a bond with those of Fey blood. You are able to speak to and reason with Fey creatures and avoid conflict with most Fey beasts, provided you or your party members have not caused damage to it. You can persuade Fey creatures to answer your questions without entering into a deal, provided they have high enough intelligence to do so, show you hidden paths, sources of food and water, and safe locations of forests and other areas where nature reigns. So if this is a Fey creature, they'll be kind to us.
You'll get.
Hold on.
So I will say, based on the 14, Luke, you're suspicious. This is odd. Like most of you are suspicious. You have a brain. Clearly, it's not just an old woman holding around. With the one, you don't know. With your background, I'll say there's some element to fate to this. You're not immediately like, yep, that's a fake creature. Perhaps a mix, but there is something about trickery here, and yeah, yes, Mercy.
My people specifically hunt hags who fuck with destinies. Specifically, they fuck mortal destinies more than anyone. Can I roll a weave check on this?
Yeah, sure.
Creature. I bet it is magical, and I bet it has lots of destiny fuckery going on.
Standard Fey.
You try put an old woman near us. No.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a natural one.
Oh no!
your hackles are immediately raised. You're just like, you do not trust this thing. You don't know. You don't know, but you're like, nope, fuck this, fuck everything about this.
Yeah. Pod, come back.
Oh, hello! And Toad's gonna
He'd
head over
already,
to
he
Pod
wouldn't
and
have
join.
heard that. Within that one, he would not have heard that. He would have just gone straight over. He started carefully and gingerly placing these like weird swamp potions back on the cart. Just, exchanging pleasantries. Just being generally very kind of like,
Toad's gonna
oh,
help
be
out
careful
as
with
well.
that one. Oh, does this one go over here? How about this one? Oh, I hope this isn't cracked.
Thank you, that one's mine. She kind of takes it and puts it under her roof.
Oh, sorry about that.
She
I
smells
didn't-
like the swamp, like the deepest parts of the swamp. She smells awful. Like, teeth are really yellow. You can see now.
We're helping a swamp woman. I can't believe it.
From like across the camp, Pod, you hear,
Who the fuck is that, mate?
He kind of turns, his ears perk up, he notices, then turns back and goes, actually, that is a good point. Well, not in that language, but, may I introduce myself? I'm Pod. What's your name?
Merelda, it's wonderful to meet such a nice young man. And she kind of pats you on the.
He doesn't
you-
lean, but he looks a
Guys,
little bit
let's
proud.
adopt this one. We're gonna do it anyway. Why not now?
Are
He's
you
a
from
little bit
here?
proud. Yeah.
Are you...
Yes, I live here. Points that way.
Oh, you're from over there.
Oh no, over there is over that way, but she pointed that way.
Oh no, but Toad, she's from over there. You're from over there.
Oh yes, that's true. Yeah. What are you doing out here with your cot? Are you a traveling salesperson or?
Yes, well, I smelled something wonderful, and I couldn't imagine there were people, and I wanted to show you my wares.
Oh, wonderful.
Toad, Pod.
Yes.
Speak no more to the seer stealer.
You don't know that.
What are you talking about?
That's a
Jeez.
slur.
Give it nothing. Tell it nothing. Back away slowly.
But it's lovely.
We're in the center of a dangerous swamp where I imagine only powerful creatures survive.
What vibe check do I get off of this lady?
We're all gonna fail our vibe checks.
With your faith thing. No, you don't do that. You're like, this is harmless so far, and you know that. You don't think. Obviously, I know what all of you are thinking. These are not often violent creatures, just because if it is that.
So what kind of things are you selling?
Dreams.
Fingers.
That depends. I mean, mind if I have some food? I'm starving.
Well, it depends, DM. Like, I've got PTSD from hags from last campaign, so like,
You can say no.
My PTSD would be to give the fucking hack food.
Quan just passes
That's
out
my-
immediately. He just falls into sleep.
Is he okay? I don't want to cause any trouble.
Oh, he does that sometimes. Actually, it should
guys,
be fun.
I've not passed out.
Meaning.
I might have a tonic for that, actually.
What will it cost?
Whatever it is, be fast about it. We do have somewhere to be. Remember, everyone, the race? Razor?
Well, we're all stopping to have breakfast right now anyway, so yes, would you like to eat as well? You can come join us for some food.
Well, so the thing is, does the older woman actually want breakfast? Because I haven't actually made food in quite a long time.
Yeah.
So-
Yes.
I don't know how breakfast has actually turned out.
Well, we'll give it a roll second. Well, I could. I find lots of people who end up here need things, direction, food themselves, power.
There's
Often I
power
just-
company whips around.
Often I just need to give people a goal or a direction or help leaving. You seem to know where you're going, but
No,
I'm
Tempter,
prepared
we
for
want
what's
none
there.
of your deals.
Did she say power?
Did I hear that correctly? Salivates.
You're a very aggressive young man.
I
What
know
form are
what
you in
you
right
are.
now?
Atropos.
You've never met somebody like me, I can assure you. I can tell. Full of womanly wiles.
I have salt and I have iron. I know the laws.
Saucepan and salt are no weapons.
Make no
And
deals
somewhat
with this
salt.
creature.
I wasn't planning on making any sort of a deal.
Nearly
if
salted
you
meal can
are-
be dangerous, actually, long term in particular.
If you're concerned, I offer things simply in exchange for gold. There are others, but
Oh.
gold will do.
I don't have
Scott-
any gold. Do you do other trades?
Of course.
No, Toad. Scurry back to your cauldron
What?
before my brothers and sisters find you.
All right, look. Say I wanted power. What do you have?
Well, place is dangerous. Could be immune to poison forever.
Oh, I'm already immune to poisons.
Oh, the nat one on
you?
checking for hags.
Why? How?
I have items that will lead you to sources of power. Observe. And she takes out a piece of parchment, and you look at it, and there's nothing on it. But as you look away, your eyes catch as suddenly a diagram appears. A most curious object can only be seen when it's not being observed. Whoever enchanted this clearly wanted it to remain hidden.
It's probably just
DM.
their diary.
DM, can I ask? My role before, was there anything
Anything you want?
like anything I might have figured out about
14.
the individual?
She does have gold on her. You can hear the jangling of coins.
Hmm.
Humanoid-ish. There's not an illusion. You can probably sense that from looking around. That's where your mind goes immediately. But beyond that, no.
Yes, so what's on the parchment?
And Arvus starts getting his pipe out and knocking the old tobacco out, putting some more in.
I don't know. When I acquired it, I was told that it will take you somewhere secret, somewhere that isn't meant to be found.
Oh, that
Or,
does
and
sound
she puts it away.
exciting.
I have these pens, and she takes out like a bottle, and there's 3 little glowing lights in it that kind of dash from side to side. I am told that when you release them, they will take you to what you seek within the swamp. Or, she puts it away again. A simple lantern, and this bioluminescent lantern. You, my friend. So looks at Arvus. You might be interested in this. A frog's tongue rope. She takes out a rope, kind of ever so slightly tinged green, and she throws it at a nearby tree, and the end of it immediately sticks onto the tree, as if like attached by a hook.
Oh, that is
Arvus.
very neat.
Arvus is just staring at the tree. Sometimes it's one of those times where Arvus is just completely frozen in a moment of thought or experience.
What do you want for it?
It's 8 gold coins. Nothing more. Nothing less. No trickery. No fate stealing. Of gold.
Seems like a fair deal. How far does it go? What does it do? Are there any things one might know about it?
It's 50. It's a 50-foot rope, and it can be thrown and attached to objects up to 20 feet away, and it will attach to them.
Well, I happen to have just 8 gold pieces on my person.
You would be a
But I'm
fool.
curious to hear, before I part with this gold, to know.
No, Arvus. It will cost you more than gold in what you receive. These creatures are evil. They do not wish for your betterment. There is no commerce. with
There
a
is no
secret stealer.
commerce. Were you one of those fucking protesters, mate? Eh?
I sense we got off on the wrong foot. May I interest you in gift? Something freely given, no strings attached. And she brings out like a little wooden carving of a frog. Offers it to Mercy.
The only gifts you bring are sorrow and suffering.
Oh, I'll take the frog if he doesn't want it.
No, you're too nice. And there is a tinge of like disappointment as she puts it back into her robe.
How much for the map?
Ah,
Or the parchment, rather?
a little.
She seeks you because she is hungry. You can do great things.
Well, we only have this kind of leathery jerky at the moment, but
Yes,
I
do you
mean, you're
want,
free
like-
to have some if you would like.
Do you want my
Not
jerky?
hungry in body, hungry in potential.
It tastes like a boot. I don't want it. He offers the jerky.
Thank you. She's trying to almost unhinge her jaw a little bit. Knobs it down. It is not pleasant.
I feel like Hazmat actually probably like leans in and is like, wow.
I mean,
Or a
Sorry, go ahead.
puzzle for the map.
A puzzle.
Or a riddle.
Surely someone with a 20 int knows some great riddles and puzzles.
Yeah, if you could definitely Google one.
I waste no more time on this.
No,
you-
no riddles, please spare me.
Give us the riddle.
Yeah, I'll just give her a riddle. Sure.
What's the riddle?
Oh, what?
You need to say the riddle.
Oh,
Google's a riddle.
I have a
Okay.
head like a cat and feet like a cat, but I am not a cat. What am I?
And what is the answer?
A kitten.
a fucking pussy.
Oh, good one, actually.
Crude. Sure. And they hand it over. Nothing seems to happen. But you now are in possession of the parchment. But metagaming, you can no longer say the word kitten.
This is only a good thing.
But it's such a good pet
Um,
name for your boyfriend, though.
Now,
Not on Discord, it's not.
I do have one item that's very
I've got it.
with the kids. As I see, who aren't sure what they want. And she kind of like whips off this like thing and goes, "Behold, Mirelda's mystery box. Put your hand in. Take out whatever you touch first. 5 gold each time."
Pod looks really excited for a moment and then reaches and realizes, you can see just by his face, he doesn't have 5 gold on him.
I'm afraid we might be out of money, unfortunately.
Well, what else would you like to offer me?
I never have any money.
Well, we
I
have
can
some.
offer you a prayer
Oh,
on your behalf to my god.
I've got
I
to say
wouldn't
something. What-
do
I
that.
want to hear your prayer, mate. I
Pod.
want to hear it. I don't.
Pod. Toad gently puts his hand on Pod's arm. I think that perhaps we could offer this kind lady some food and she could, continue on her merry way. I think she's got plenty of places to be. And he kind of gives us a charming smile to the lady and kind of, it's like, it was so lovely meeting with you. Perhaps I will see you again in the future.
It's lovely meeting with Wallet.
So
Thank
Pod obviously shuffles back, grabs a couple of the jerky slices, passes them over again, and then while doing so, he holds her hand and he casts guidance on her and says, "Be well."
That's gay, dude.
That's
Thank
cute.
you. That's very, very nice, young man. She'll pat you a little bit on the shoulder, yeah, well, as you kind of put it away, you'll notice that she slipped something into your robe.
Okay.
And
I'll discover it later. He wouldn't have noticed.
lovely to meet you all, except for you. She points a long finger at Mercy.
The only one who was right.
I am so sorry about him, but it was absolutely charming meeting you, and have a lovely day.
How do I get in contact with you if I want to be immune to the elements?
Just cook more food.
Great.
Call my name. I'm always hungry. As you turn back, I imagine Kwan's food is almost done.
Well, Arvus didn't make.
Oh, you didn't buy the rope.
Make the purchase.
Did you want to buy the rope or not?
I think he did want to buy the rope.
We can say that happened. That's fine. You can exchange 8 gold pieces for the frog's tongue rope, is what it's called.
Jeez, that sounds sick. Thank you.
That is pretty cool, actually.
Did something happen to our money, or are we all just pretending we don't have any except Luke?
I think every time Pod has had any money, he's pretty much given it to Arvus because Arvus has come up with a new plan that will definitely make us lots of money.
Nothing has happened to your money that you have on your person, or we haven't lost anything. Toad just has no concept of numbers, so he can't count money. So people being reluctant to give her money, he assumed as, well, we just don't have any money left.
Toad can count up to 9.
That's true. But he doesn't know what's in your guys' pockets.
So actually, Arvus was going to tell you remind you of the fact that given him money. But you cut me off, man. You were going to get your money, man. You cut me off.
Sorry.
So a little tidbit about Pod that you may have noticed, Arvus, upon any discussions of money with him. He seems very laissez-faire about money. Basically, he never has very much on him. And when he does, he doesn't seem to really pay much attention to it. You get the feeling that if he ever has any money, he seems to lose it very often. He's kind of used to just not having as much money as he put in his pocket in the first place. Very familiar with just losing gold for seemingly not much reason.
Yeah, he speaks for us all, that character.
So the rest of you, as you sit down, and Mercy, I presume, scolds you for daring to talk to the hag. Not that she was a hag, maybe.
Can I go around and make sure that everyone follows the protection rule? So that I have a box of salt and some iron links, like iron chain. So can I just go around and make sure that everyone has thrown some salt over their left shoulder, and I'll just have them hold. I'll just ask them to hold the iron kind of neck chain, not like a chain, wrist chain, but just so that the fairies stay away.
Maybe like a kind of, a single link on a necklace, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Quan... Go on.
No, just saying, I'll humour your infantilization of the Fae and Arcane very well. He does this thing.
Quan,
It may seem... Sorry.
Let you go.
Just obey their rules. You'll thank me.
We're all just waiting for Psyduck to speak.
When Mercy approaches Quan with the salt and the iron link, I guess, Quan just looks over and goes, "Oh, thank you, Mercy," and takes the salt and puts it into the pot of what he's cooking.
That's so cute.
No, Quan. It's not for the cooking.
Seasoning, amazing.
Throw this over your left shoulder.
That would be quite a waste.
Yep. It's much better than being cursed by a seer stealer.
By a what?
A seer stealer.
A seer stealer.
A seer.
Know what
You
that
know.
is either.
Seer.
A seer.
It doesn't matter if you understand what I'm saying. Just humour me. Don't worry about the salt. I will get more.
They're all fucking insane, honestly.
While everyone is cooking and trying to hold this chain, Toad is not participating in the chain holding. Instead, he is leaning over and unlacing his boots, taking his boots off. And we're in a swamp, right? So are we on like a little island of land and there's like swamp water around us or something?
Yeah.
Or...
Yeah.
Cool. He's gonna just wade into the swamp, roll his trousers up to past his knees, and go for a little dip in the swamp.
There are leeches, Toad. They'll suck your blood.
Oh, that's fine. I like leeches.
Great.
They're kind of like snails, but they just don't have a home.
I'm so happy for you.
And he's just gonna stand in the swamp, just kind of serenely, just kind of looking out over the reeds and the gentle morning mist, and just gonna vibe there.
Okay. So, Quan eventually finished cooking. You could describe what you make, or
Sorry, I can't.
okay. However, then, given the time, we will say that you all, if Juan wants to describe the food afterwards, we'll say finally, you break camp, you begin traveling.
We don't know where we're going yet. We've
Yes, you do.
discussed what we're
You're
doing.
fine,
We haven't
fine.
read the thing from the guy.
Okay, fine. It's a break. After the break, we can read the letter from the Hot Devil. I mean, the NPC you don't know much about yet. We're having a break. I'll see you guys back at 9 o'clock.
Goodbye.
Au revoir. Hello.
Apparently, Google says syphilis had the nickname the Great Pretender.
Oh.
Pretend.
What have I
Yeah,
walked back in
wow.
on?
Pretending. We were talking about colloquial
Syphilis.
names for STD.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
We're
Aaron,
not.
don't listen to them.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hello. Welcome back, everyone. The clap sounds really fun.
Everybody clap.
This is recorded.
It was Cupid's disease. Yeah, that's what it was.
Dungeons and
Anybody-
Dragons, guys.
Dungeons and Dragons, where you have a scarlet letter.
Who's
Not
from?
a,
Let's
not a
read
scarlet
it.
what in a place you
Yeah.
don't want to talk about.
Oh dear. So as you all wake up and chat to a lovely merchant, make food, chat away, Toad goes and ferments in a swamp. The rest of you are deciding the
Wait,
plans for the day.
Wait. Do we notice this at all? Toad taking off their shoes, standing in a swamp, and, to quote you, fermenting.
I'm just standing in the swamp.
Yeah, just
Like,
standing
can't
there.
a guy stand in a lake and enjoy the scenery?
I mean, he can, but it's a bit weird.
Why?
He just
Well-
got leeches between his toes.
Sometimes
guess it
you
could
just
make,
gotta
like, the-
connect with nature, you know?
It can make
Yeah.
like the top 20 weirdest shit that people have done, you know?
Yeah, does it even make the top 20? I'm not sure.
It's just a swamp. It's no big deal.
Just a swamper.
Yeah, what's the deal, boys?
It's refreshing.
At some point, my Toad weird meter is gonna like hit the level.
Well, does Mercy say anything? I'm doing this in open air. Everyone can see me. You're free to comment. Or if it doesn't bother you, then go back to eating your breakfast.
No, let's carry on with breakfast.
Okay, if Mercy doesn't say anything, Quan is gonna rush over to Toad and go, Toad, your feet are getting dirty, and just like, even though Toad is pretty tall, Quan is gonna like put his hands like around Toad's waist and just lift him up so his feet are no longer in the mud.
You will notice when you lift Toad up that he is much lighter than you were expecting.
I think we should get you some breakfast.
No, I'm
Get that
fine.
whale
Honestly,
sandwich.
please place me down. And he'll like kind of like pat Quan's shoulders as he's being lifted up. Honestly, I was quite happy on the ground. Please, bother. Why are you doing this?
Jamie, have we noticed Toad eat anything? Put things in his mouth chew and swallow for like the last 10 days of traveling.
You're muted, Boomer.
Don't forget to tell us that you've been on mute when you get off mute.
Instead of shut up, Boomer,
You're
it's
still muted,
unmute.
Boomer. If you can't find the button, it's at the bottom of your screen underneath the camera.
There's a malfunction. Actually, I can't even right now. My life and ability to not be 50 years old is falling apart. Toad, please roll a performance check.
Okie dokie.
Wait, you on mute? Sorry.
I'm not on mute.
I'm not funny.
Wait.
No, you're not. You have a bigger sense
Ooh.
of humor than I did.
Let me see, what's my performance? Negative
Come
1.
on.
So that is 17 negative 1 for a 16 on performance.
Yeah, what's Mercy's passive perception?
15.
Yeah, no. You know.
Why would you pay attention to that?
Even. Yeah.
Okay, but as someone who does carefully pay attention to whether everyone is eating enough, do I notice?
Well, you don't quite. You sense that Toad's just not eating enough. He needs to eat more. He's a healthy growing boy. You feel him. He doesn't have any weight to him. He needs some food. Come on.
I'm an old man, actually. The ripe old age of 29.
You look like a boy.
Wait, I thought you said you were 3.
No?
29.
No, that's
Okay.
Arvus. Arvus is
Oh, sorry.
the young
Mixing
man.
people's ages up.
No, none of you have noticed specifically that Toad's not eating.
Quan, you are quite strong, but perhaps this display of your strength could I am quite happy for you to pick me up, but maybe you could put me down.
Fine, and he puts you down. He takes you over to where he's cooking and puts you down in a chair, not in the swamp, next to a plate of whatever it is has come out of his frying pan.
Oh, this looks lovely. Did you cook this?
Yes?
Wow, you're quite the chef. Did you go to chef school?
What's chef school?
Oh, it's where people learn
What is
to.
chef school, Toad?
It's where people go to learn how to cook. I heard about it once.
So you don't have these in your kingdom, Toad?
Well, no, everyone just eats. We don't really need to cook.
Mm-hmm. No further questions?
Your Honor.
Right. I think it's about time we had a look at this. Well, this letter.
Oh, yes, the red letter. Your Valentine's card.
DM, is it in like an envelope or is it just folded or what's the
In
thing?
an envelope.
Okay. And can you tell me about the letter and the envelope?
It's very pristine. Slightly warm to the touch. Smells slightly of sulfur. Crimson red.
This thing is fucking strange, mate.
A red envelope. What's so strange about it?
Well, it's clearly some kind of trap. I have a sniff of that, mate. It's got some kind of poison in there for sure.
It's addressed to my saviour, Arvus. It's a letter from a fan.
Listen, mate. Don't think I've got any fans in the world, not like that in any way.
Open it, I'm so curious.
What if it's a trip?
Then you'll blow up and Pod will heal you from certain death.
Well,
It will
I can
be
at
the
least
second
check if
time
it's
I've
magical. So, Pod, you might not need to save my life yet. Let's have a look at this thing. He's going to put it down.
and he's going to begin casting the tech magics on the envelope.
Yeah. Let me just check the
That's
school of
a
magic.
ritual, by the way.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. So it is. It contains a decent dose of conjuration magic.
Which one's that again? It's been a while.
It's a confetti cannon.
Well, conjuration, is that like summoning?
Yes. One of the uses of conjuration magic.
And was I aware that it was a devil, or was that just mentioned by
Cause
someone?
materials, creatures, or energy to the caster.
What was the first word? What materials?
Materials, creatures, or energy. You aren't aware he's a devil knight. Eerily perfect.
Well, listen, if we're going to open this thing, I want to do it from far away as possible. Has anybody got any special magic to open an envelope? From afar, of course.
What? Sorry?
Nobody's got any special tricks to open this from afar. I've got skills and I can open many things. I just don't want to be taking the risk with this particular letter. It is conjuration magic.
Oh, fun. I was just going to use my hands, but
You know what you could do is you could pin the letter down with a rock and then use your new frog whip to whip it and stick the letter to the whip to the opening of the letter and then pull it back and then you'll open it from afar.
It is a very interesting idea. I would, however, suggest something more simple. Piece of string.
Yeah,
From afar.
I feel like the toad rope might just rip the letter.
Yeah, what if
Possibly,
it brings
but it would be
it
fun,
flying back
wouldn't
at
it?
us as well?
how do you leave the house during the day? It's open it. It's a letter. It's fine. Nothing
Alright.
ventured, nothing gained.
I mean, to give him some credit, the last letter that we opened did explode on us.
Oh yes, but that won't happen again. That trick's been pulled.
Curiosity killed the cat.
So how about you and I, Casimir, walk in this direction 60 feet,
All right.
70 feet. I walk back here, and then you proceed to open it way from the camp.
Sure. I'll do it.
All right, let's go.
And he begins walking to sort of the nearest clearing that might get him in eyesight, 60 feet away.
Is everyone like super paying attention to what Arvus and Casimir are up to right now? Like Quan, Mercy, Pod, you guys watching closely?
Mercy's staring at Toad in depth.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Okay.
Quan is also staring at Toad to make sure that he eats.
Fuck. Okay, he's watching Casimir and Arvus, what they're up to.
I'll open the letter.
Okay. You open it.
I will have left 60.
Could you make
yeah,
no
yeah.
dexterity saving? Sorry.
Yeah?
No, I'm kidding. So as you
Aw.
hold it up, there's a big flash of fire and what seems to be smoke trails out and a smell of sulfur hits your nostrils.
I knew it.
Homely.
Oh my god, who could it be from?
What is inside the letter?
A piece of parchment folded up.
What does it say?
If you open it up, it's written in a flowing, elegant script. Parchment slightly
recite it.
darkened. Would you like me to send you it?
No. You can narrate it. Just pretend it's coming from Casimir.
To the benefactor of unexpected kindness, in the tangled webs of fate and circumstance, it is rare to find a strand of benevolence directed towards one such as myself. I confess, When I first realized the tool that had been left within my reach, my initial instinct was one of suspicion, anticipating yet another ploy in the great game of deception that we are so accustomed to. Yet, as the keen edge of the dagger sliced through my bindings, it became clear that this was a genuine act, be it driven by altruism, strategy, or some enigmatic intent. Allow me to extend my gratitude for the instrument of my emancipation. Whilst the moralities and loyalties may be fluid and oftentimes treacherous, know that you have garnered a favor from Varus of the Sulphur Syndicate. Such gestures, especially those extended to my kind, are neither forgotten nor taken lightly. Should our paths cross again, and you find yourself in the need of the unique resources or influence that my position affords, do not hesitate to call upon me. In the interim, should you wish to speak to me, simply burn this letter. With sincere gratitude, Varus Fatebinder, emissary of the Sulphur Syndicate.
Very tasty.
I mean, that sounds pretty cool, not gonna lie.
I shall return to camp, place it on Arvus's lap, and say, "There you go, just a bit of smoke and mirrors."
Crikey, he's reading it. Seems a bit fucking up himself, doesn't he?
Thanking you for the magnanimity of your aiding in his emancipation. Well, the point is, you have a friend.
Well, yeah, I can read that, mate. Well, yeah, I've got the gist of it.
It's good.
But,
We're happy. Want
yeah.
to burn it now? We could ask why Naliska didn't want him freed. Why was Naliska keeping a devil bound anyway?
Why don't we just try and work that one out and save this for a very special time?
We good? Yeah, sure.
It's gonna be like Lum's Warhorn. We're gonna have it at the end of the campaign.
Yeah.
I
Well-
was gonna have used it.
Then, with that as something to sit on, something we need to speed our way towards, Razor is encroaching upon the enemy party as we speak. If we intend to help them, are we planning to help them? We probably ought to set off. She has a slight head start on us, but we shouldn't arrive much later than her if we hurry.
Well, I think we should. I mean, what we're getting ourselves into could be a serious bit of nasty, man.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking this, right? We don't just want to save them. We want to save them. We want them to fucking know we saved them.
I agree.
So that way, we've got more favours. Oh, let's go around this flat earth, collecting little favours that we can use to our benefit.
I fully agree. We're not out to do charity. But I can't believe I'm saying this, but it would be a bit of a sad end to our race if Razor just kills them because of Corin's interference.
I think so. I thought we could, maybe let him take one or two of them so they're a weaker force than us,
Or we could sort of hang back and watch Razor beat the shit out of them for a little while and step in and say, "No, stand aside, leave this to us," and we'll sort of save the day and everyone will be very impressed.
I think so, mate. But it is crucial, and I mean truly crucial, if we aim to win what is essentially a competition, that we, in the long term, are the stronger force.
I agree.
So, nothing wrong with a little bit of sabotage from time to time.
The good news is they're already weakened from Corin, in fact, being a traitor. And we sort of already were the stronger force, so are we just kicking down dogs?
Well, mate, I think the point is, we don't only want them to be the weaker force, but we also want them to know, or at the very least think they are the weaker force. That gives us a strong position to negotiate.
Oh yes, I desperately need Zul to look me in the eyes and say, "Casimir, you are stronger than I am." That would just make my life. I can't really think of anything I want more. I mean, I can, but it's close.
Is it just the two of us here speaking 60 feet away, or are we...
No, I think we're with the gang.
Oh, you're with the gang?
Yeah,
you came
this
back.
is with the gang.
You came back.
I
with the
came
letter.
back.
Okay. I would have said stuff.
Mercy, you look like you want to say stuff.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was just distracted looking at those mushrooms on Toad's jacket. I always thought they look a bit weird.
Why?
Well, they just... How does it grow there? I can't really see how the fabric sustains those mushrooms. They must be magical of some kind.
No, they're perfectly practical, but there's moss here, and I keep it moist, and it creates a good growing environment for fungi. Fungi is quite resilient and can grow in many places, provided it has the right environment.
Yeah, but surely when you're just sort of... You knock your arm or your shoulder or you're struck or anything, the moss or mushrooms would get dislodged. Just seems a bit... I'm amazed they're still there, really. And they seem to grow back, because I saw you pick that mushroom like a few days ago as well.
Yes, that's correct. They grow quite quickly. And well, in general, I try not to get knocked or hit, because that could dislodge many things from one's body.
Okay.
So Razor and the enemy.
Yes, of course.
So, yeah, the main thing.
Yes. Well, of course, I agree we should leave immediately if we're hoping to reach Reedholm, which we must leave, because if we are to reach, it will be 5 days hard walk. I believe the one we're seeking, Razor, will be there on the 30th. Assuming that the skeins of the future haven't changed too badly since I was last able to glimpse.
Yes. I would posit there are two key pieces of information we learned from Wraithwater. Number one, the elves are seeking to invade Fort Valor. Timelines yet to be decided. Ilara, I suggest we need to get word back to your father fairly soon, but potentially not immediately, if that's still a cooking plot. Number two, Corin is a traitor and implanted in the enemy gang. Do we want to tell them that?
I think we should. Why would we not?
Wait, was it the
Arvus.
elves wanted to invade Fort Valor? I thought it was that they wanted to keep the bulwark distracted with Stormlands so they would stop deforesting.
Oh, they're planning an
Yes.
attack on Fort Valor, that's what the document said.
Oh. That's
I
interesting.
believe the elves wanted to coordinate with Razor and Lilith's forces to keep Fort Valor occupied in the Stormlands so that the elves
Well,
could...
they planned the invasion, yes.
Jamie, from my time at Fey Courts, would I've ever heard any whisperings of plans of this?
Like, let's make a history check.
A history check. Oh, that's not very good. It's a 9.
Not to your knowledge.
That's fine.
There was much anger and there was much discussion about what to be done about the bulwark and the deforestation and the encroachment, but you don't know. No plans to invade or commit violence.
What about in terms of, like, character? Like, do I feel like this is, like, the elves invading Fort Valor? That seems out of character for them, right? They've always tried to stay quite neutral, as far as I'm aware.
The elves have, to your understanding, the elves have always kind of opted for peace and acquiesced, and have generally retreated. This would be quite a overt display of aggression from them, out of character.
Oh, Casimir, are we certain that this letter you found is genuine? Because just from my time in the Fey Courts, this seems not like how elves conduct their business usually.
There are bad eggs in every society, but it was Mercy that found the documentation, so how confident are you it's genuine?
Mercy?
Whether the documents are true or not is rather small. I believe that, from what I've seen, you, Casimir, the effect on Kwan, the impact on the Weave, Razor, Lilith. I mean, the ceasefire was a true effort of genius to avert an all-out war. It does not surprise me that Lilith seeks to undo one of the Weaver's greatest triumphs.
And I suppose beyond that, you mentioned you overheard an ambassador from the Fey Courts discussing the very same with Nalisker, so I think we have more than enough evidence. Plus, there's the matter of Corin, the individual set to... What are the documents? He pulls it out. Intercede the mission and ensure the deaths of both her party and the opposition. So, I mean, at the very least, there's that overt display of violence, which they're machinating.
I am somewhat confused here. Are we suggesting that the elves are the baddies or their enemies are the baddies?
Well, the elves are corroborating with Razor to invade Fort Valor, and they've planted Corin in the enemy party to ensure our deaths. But
Hold on, mate. Let me understand this for a second. So, you're trying to tell me that the elves are being occupied by a hostile force?
No.
And that... You go on.
Well, no, they're cooperating with Razor.
Wasn't that something because their forests, the territories were getting smaller and smaller?
I don't care about local politics.
Mate, all I'm trying to say is, sounds a lot to me like they're under some kind of occupation and territories which they have access to are diminishing ever so quickly, increasingly.
Well, yes.
It sounds like, if anything, the source of the violence could be the occupation.
Well, yes.
Well, that would be our employers, the Bulwark. And like I said, I really don't care about local politics. I care about beating Fazul Chembrel and his band of imbeciles to the punch and killing Razor first.
Well, I stand with the elves, mate.
Well, that's
do
a
I.
little awkward. Ilara, you're the leader.
We've come to a peaceful agreement. We've decided each other's borders, and if they have issues with that, they should be bringing it up with council and, the Council of Archons. It was all signed off. It was all agreed.
As in, they should have stuck to international law.
Exactly, precisely. Decide it, but Ilara is like, no, we live cohabiting with the elves. We trade. They are happy. They are.
Alara,
This is ridiculous. These are clearly a faction that needs to be investigated and eliminated.
Alara, I am so sorry if you've perhaps gotten the wrong idea, but I do not think the elves are particularly happy because, well, their great forest keeps being deforested.
Not anymore. We have expanded. We needed to. We were given that charge. We needed to find space, and we've done it. Finished. We're not moving any further, and that was the agreement.
Most of the
Couldn't keep
land
this-
between Fort Valor and Tetheriel's empty.
Well, it's going to be populated. We have plans for it.
Could we keep this at the level at which we are being paid for, which is stopping the bandit causing mass violence across the Stormlands, who is currently on her way to kill our opposition?
I have to agree with
Oh, no,
Casimir.
man.
I'm not
Razor
much
is
for
Razor is
geopolitics.
actively killing people. If Casimir's research is anything to go by, she intends on finding powerful artifacts that will shape the entire future of the Kyle. She is an aberrant by Mercy's reckoning. Regardless of what you think of her objectives, this is morally wrong.
Regardless of who the elves are treating with, their reasons may be entirely sound and supportable. They are unfortunately in bed with a villain. And if we need to take Razor out so they see the error of their ways, maybe we can replace her with an alternate route to power and an alternate way to get their viewpoints and freedom. Maybe we can do that. But we are here to kill a bandit. I am here to be paid for that. I'm not here to entreat in international politics. We are 7 people in a swamp. So maybe we should stick to where we're playing.
All I know is that Razor has been killing and attacking the people of the Stormlands who are not involved in this. They aren't part of the Bulwark. They aren't part of the Elves of the Empire. She is being paid to kill people not related as a distraction.
Distraction from what?
What did you hear? She's attempting to distract our forces so that they can invade. So she is killing people who are not involved, at the very minimum, as a distraction.
Elves may be right.
Hands,
Razor
mate,
bad.
and she's employing force on behalf of a weaker power.
To be clear, if maybe that the elves declared they were unhappy and declared war on the Bulwark, then maybe very little could be done. Maybe they have a point. But this is like, you're unhappy with your partner in your house, so you go next door and kick the neighbor's dog. I don't understand the connection. These people are innocent.
Mate,
Stormlands is
this
innocent.
is what I know.
That's
There's
what
an
my uncle
opportunity.
Derek did, actually.
There is, okay. Now, that's what the saying goes. If a dog's barking, give it a kick, mate.
You do sound a bit
there's no
like
two
Derek.
ways about it.
Another
I
innocent
don't
people are being
condone
murdered
kicking
harshly.
dogs.
Or are they just living their lives? I don't really care either way. I just have a job to do. Are we
Well-
going to interfere with Razor trying to kill our opposition? Are we alerting them?
And to that, I say, proposition, how about we make contact with the elves? Not just promise, but make sure some kind of visible concession is given to them as a process of reconciliation. And perhaps we might use the elves as allies against this Razor.
No, they're allied with Razor.
Perhaps we turn them.
Well, Toad, you seem to know a lot about them. Do you have contacts? My father have contacts. I could get in. I could message.
Yeah, well, I do, so I could get in contact quite easily. But it is actually it's only a week until Jamie, what's the next month called again?
Oh my god, why are you doing this to me? I'm gonna get my
It's
calendar
your
up.
world.
It's a Tempest month.
You're the one who made a fun little calendar. Is it
I did
Tempest?
make a
Tempest
calendar.
Why are you
Grasp
regretting this?
month,
I know it's
right?
the month of the Tempest Grasp, which I am desperately trying to remember without checking a calendar, which I'm going to go and check.
And how many
rough
days are in a
month.
month again?
36.
36.
Beautiful
Well-
symmetry.
It's only about a week until the month of Tempest Grasp, and during that month, normally I need to return to Therial to, do my business. So I could go there and speak to everyone as they all gather.
Alcrest is the answer to your question.
Alcrest.
Great.
Thank you. I could send a message, but I don't know in particular who would be the first best person to speak to. As we don't know
Well-
who is involved in this or not.
I have two names there. Let me hit up the recaps channel.
Ilian
Right.
Greenwood and Phalor Silverborough are the ones that you.
The mage and the
are
ambassador,
involved.
who we
Yeah.
know are the ones doing this.
Razor will be at Reedham in 5 days.
And she will be killing our opposition. And we don't
That
hate all of them. I only hate Fazul, by
is
the way. The rest
our-
of them I like.
Opportunity where we must stop her aberrance. We must.
Yes.
And then discussions of allies and alliances, war can be had at a later date.
At a later date.
I agree. So are we telling anyone in the enemy party that Corin's a traitor, or should we let her plot against them, whatever chaos that may sow, and see where the chips may fall? I don't know who we would speak to. I certainly wouldn't trust a few of them. Some I might.
I
Surely,
thought.
surely it's.
Oh,
Sorry.
go ahead, Alara.
No, I was gonna, surely we should trust Malik. Most experienced.
Go on.
Oh, he's the most experienced. He's the leader of the group. The Creditors Federation selected him.
The same Malik that said he was going to cheat and bribe his way across the Stormlands, and Nalisko told me to say hello to. Like they knew each other personally. With his background working as a thief.
Yes, that one. Yes, that's the one. Yes,
Who,
that's the one I mean.
who
Yes.
tried to sell me out to my fake mother.
Yes, him. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who was going to win at any costs, in his own words.
Yes, and therefore he'll do whatever he can to not lose and get rid of Corin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with Alara, but not for those reasons.
I don't trust him at all. He lied to my face on multiple occasions. And Naliska's words, implying he has a relationship with Malik, cause me concern, to say the least.
Didn't that owl belonging to Razor send a message to Toad? We don't know the nature of the relationship between Naliska and
No,
Malik.
we don't. No, we
And Malik's vindictive enough to see a traitor in his midst in the way that I believe would be fitting for someone of Corin's character.
I also don't think Malik will want to owe us anything. So pandering to Arvus' suggestion earlier of them wanting them to owe us things. I might suggest to Lauren he's experienced, serves an order that we know is on the side of good, whatever good may be. Is unlikely to panic at the news, might use it sensibly.
Well, what about the bard? What was his name?
Rundle.
Gringle?
3 fingers.
He had
I liked him.
He had 3 fingers. Yes.
Yes, he did.
He seemed
Give
quite
me-
nice, and he's a bit older and perhaps is more experienced. Maybe seen some things in his days.
And because he's old, they all respect him.
He
Yes.
said he's specifically out for a good story. I'm a little worried this will turn into a parable and he's more likely to play it to a tavern over the accompaniment of a guitar than treat it with caution and use it sensibly.
No.
I think he actually played a lute.
As you understand. Bards. Pardon me. What is bard short for?
Barbarian?
Bastard. Absolute bastard. That's what it's short for. They're charlatans. They are pretenders. They can't be trusted. They're thieves. Criminals. Vagrants. Contribute nothing to society.
I mean, they
except
play
their
nice songs.
arts and poetry. Detestable. No good. No gooders.
Note to self, never let Arvus near a bard.
Jesus. Give me...
Trusted, mate.
Here's the thing. I actually trust Fazul implicitly. I think he's too stupid to have any ulterior motive. But I do think if I spoke to him in his head, he'd probably set the nearest house on fire, so... I also think he wouldn't use the information sensibly. He'd probably think it was a lie.
I might have a solution to this. Give me a brief time, no more than 20 or 30 minutes. I might be able to bring us some answers.
Oh, very good.
Jamie, can I go and meditate and do a weave roll?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Okay, so I will spend 30 minutes doing this, which I think will be... Oh, I got a 19 anyway. Okay, so then the D20, 48. And my question is, how would Talorin react to receiving the message from Casimir? Whatever he's gonna say.
Sure. That's your question. Roll a percentage dice. Did you say you rolled it already? Sorry.
48.
48. You hold on it. There's so many diverging paths of the weave here. It's very difficult for you to read, but you suspect that this way would end fairly quickly. Much of Corin's future would not exist.
Okay. So I come back after a little while. I don't know what everyone else is doing, but I sort of relay. I think that sending that warning to Corin would be tantamount to condemning him. His weaves become very short after you sent that message.
Isn't sending it to Talorin is
Wait.
tantamount to killing her, right? Corin's
Was-
female.
Was it Corin's fate is short or Talarin's?
Yeah, which one was it?
Unsure. Unsure.
Oh.
With that reading.
Oh.
Okay. I guess that's not really okay.
So we
I
asked
guess
Mercy the question, which way round?
I guess I'm just like, in that case, then I guess I'm not clear. I just wouldn't come back and say anything because
Okay.
I don't really know the answer if I'm not sure about who I was looking at.
You suspect that one of their fates ends fairly abruptly afterwards.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Ooh.
So I don't say that. I just come back and say, I'm afraid it's difficult to see. Someone dies. But I couldn't say who.
If you wanted to check for other people, I'll let you have that chance.
While that's
Hey.
going,
Check for Malik, bro.
Malik.
Fazul. Fazul.
1,000 people die.
Okay. 65 for Malik.
This is
Same
for Malik.
question.
Corin and Malik's threads both continue quite some time after this. But there's certainly an overlapping of threads. One where Malik increasingly overlaps with Corin, almost as if Malik is watching. Oh.
Okay. I'm sorry, I would come back and relay that an hour later, I guess.
We're all packed with the
Yeah,
stuff
you're all
in
back,
bags,
just
like-
waiting for me, just sitting there cross-legged, just like white eyes, just silent.
Do you want to weave read on the way?
Yeah. Nothing is done. Their warps continue, even after he receives your message. It's unclear what the reaction is. From this distance, perhaps if I were more adept, but alas, I can only see that neither die this day.
And if we say nothing, who knows?
What about Gringle? Or what's
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Todd. I'm a little tired.
Oh.
We don't have to send it now.
Perhaps tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we can ponder the fates of the others. And for now, we'll be on our way.
Okay,
I
but
think we probably, if we are going to tell them, need to tell them before Razor gets there, so Corin doesn't have the chance to fuck up that meeting.
what about Fonzie though?
Who's Fonzie?
Who's Fonzie?
Fonzie,
I don't know who Fonzie is.
The tall one that wanted to take Quan to the spa.
Fizzle. Yeah.
He wanted to take you to the spa?
Yes. He came knocking on the door and he asked to take Quan to the spa. And then Pod volunteered.
Are you talking about Fazul?
Yes, that's the one.
Why did you call him Fonzie?
I forgot. I forgot his name.
A fun nickname. Maybe I'll call him Fonzie.
But Casimir literally talks about him all the time.
No, I don't. I do not talk about him ever.
Casimir does, in fact, talk about him all the time.
That's
I never talk
true,
about
actually.
him.
But I'm just really terrible with names.
When do I talk about him? I don't talk about him.
You mentioned him earlier and yesterday and
No, I didn't.
the day before, and
I reckon you talk about him at least once or twice a day.
No, I don't. No way.
I'm pretty sure I heard you say his name when you were sleeping the other night as well.
No, I... It's only because I don't like him.
You sure think about
Casimir,
him a lot.
is it possible that you like him? Actually, you do like him.
No, not at all. Why would you say that? Why would you say something stupid like that?
Is that why you don't want to send the message to him, because you want to make sure that he's kept safe?
No, I want him to die. He's awful. He came into my room and punched me out of nowhere. I haven't told you that, but he just sort of invaded my personal space, grabbed me by the collar and slammed me against a wall.
Oh,
Who does that?
well, I know plenty of people who do that for fun.
For fun? That's not a good reason.
But to Tony, he's like, he just kind of with a question, guys. You do?
Oh yes, it's quite common in the Fey courts. But you know,
He killed my cat. I'll never forgive him. I can't explain it. There is something between him and I, which I can really only describe as fated, Mercy. It's
that's quite romantic.
I hate
What?
him so deeply. It's like he took something from me that eclipses my panther I had for 3 hours.
Your
On
virginity?
sorry, there's something deeply unsettling to you about the concept of Casimir and Fazul being friends. You don't like it. Somewhere deep within your brain, you realize this is not a good thing.
Well,
It's a good job
Casimir-
not talking about friendship.
Casimir, that closeness is often both anger and lust are two sides,
Don't say that word.
and
Anger?
in many relationships, one can often become the other.
It's not bad.
We are talking about the same person here, right? We're talking about the man who threatened our group, that was extremely aggressive, insulted Casimir. I don't really quite understand why it is we're trying to encourage some sort of relationship that isn't there.
No encouragement. Fazul seemed very much enamored with you, Quan. I would say that he, in fact, quite likes you, unrequited though I understand it to be. But it seems that Casimir, in a sort of chain, would also quite like Fazul.
Look.
All unrequited by the others.
Oh, it's like
If
a
I'm-
love triangle. I've heard about these.
No, it's not, because if I'm not number one, then I'm not on the menu.
What's a menu?
I don't know,
good
but meat's
analogy,
back on
shut
it.
Ayo!
Look, I can't explain it, but every time I see his face, it's like he's taken something from me. Ever since I laid my eyes on him, I
Let me
just
ask.
hate him. Just let me have it. Just let me have it. If I want to hate someone, let me hate them freely.
How often do you think about him?
Mercy, Mercy, is this really relevant?
I'd say maybe like
We
once or
should
twice.
respect
Oh,
and
we've got-
listen. Respect and listen to what Casimir's telling us. This doesn't seem very fair, nor, like I said, very relevant to the question at hand, which is, do we trust and do we think it's a good idea to tell them about Corin?
Well said, Quan.
Well,
Quite
if
right.
if Casimir hates Fonzie as much as he says he does, then perhaps it's fine to tell him about Karen, because then if he dies, then Casimir won't be
It's
bothered
Fazul
about it.
and Corin. You're
Oh.
quite close. You're really close,
Oh,
actually.
thank you. Sorry,
No problem.
sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's all a learning experience.
Oh, yes, that's true. So, Your Majesty, I think perhaps you should just contact Fazul.
Pod looks quite proud.
Thank you, Pod.
Mm.
And at the least, we know he's honourable-ish. Foolishly so. He would owe us, Arvus, he would. He'd be bound to that.
He would. And one thing I do think about Corin now, you speak of him. Weren't that bloke a ranger?
She, Corin's a she.
Weren't that bloke a ranger?
She was, yes.
It's not
Well-
the first time Arvus has called a girl a bloke.
Yeah.
He's literally called everyone mate so far, like irrespective of gender. So,
He's the most
Yeah.
inclusive of everyone.
I mean, honestly, Luke, you can call me a bloke and I wouldn't even be offended, so...
No.
just hanging out with the boys. Yeah, he simply says,
Now, if I'm right being thinking, Corin's a ranger. And those fucks know how to move fast. I know how to move in the right direction. They'll get you places in the wilderness. And I think if they were to lose their ranger for whatever reason, we might be able to gain some days over them.
True, ratting her out probably is the play.
I don't think that is a good idea, because that might change when Razor finds them.
And Razor's on her way to find them, so it's not like they'll be trekking through the swamp and dragging her down. We know that they're going to meet soon. And if we're going to ambush them, we don't want an unknown variables of trouble.
Well said, Ilara. The unknown is trouble.
Ilara, you're the leader.
I said my piece. I think we tell Malik.
We tell Malik.
He's the one best using that information.
Toad, who do we tell?
Well, originally I thought we should tell Three Fingers Gringle. But now I actually think that we should tell Fazul.
Mercy?
I don't think we should tell anyone till tomorrow.
Pod? Arvus? Quan?
You get the feeling that Pod was kind of distracted towards the latter end of that entire conversation, and he just goes, "Yeah."
Got it. Arvus?
So let's do it.
Who?
Pod turns
What
to
do you
Toad.
mean?
What are we agreeing again?
We're agreeing who His Majesty should send a romantic message to. And
Oh, the message, yeah, of
Yes,
course, yes.
and I voted for his boyfriend, Fazul.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're still talking about that.
Yeah, so you should vote for Fazul too.
Okay, did I? I just said yes.
You should clarify so they know.
I think it should be Fazul. Sorry if it wasn't obvious.
Toad gives him a thumbs up.
We kind of like
Hate
nods back.
democracy. Arvus, say something different.
I love democracy. I love the republic.
I love.
I hate democracy. And I hate the Republic.
Long live the Republic.
Quan, what about you?
As much as I hate the idea of being in contact with Vizor again, I do feel like telling Vizor would be the right decision. And that's because I think our ultimate goal here is to stop Razor doing whatever it is she wants to do. Carry out whatever evil deeds it is she wants to carry out. And if we don't tell them, we severely limit our chance of relying on the other team, should we need to, or banding together, should we need to stop her from doing what it is she's doing. And Vizor seems strong enough to, well, look after himself should things get messy once he has that information. And really, I do not trust Malak, so. But that's just a feeling, that's just my opinion.
Why don't you trust my cat, man? Come on.
The sussiest. I don't trust my own cat.
Yeah, we
Why would I
have
trust
cats.
yours?
We know not to trust them.
That's
a good point. This is a good point.
Clued, what are cats? Baby cats called?
Young cats. Catlings.
Baby kitties.
Right.
Castles.
So that's 3 of you. Fine. Arvus, do you want to do it? I'm messaging Storm, yes.
I think-
don't know how to do that. Mate.
No, I'm doing it, but are you... Are you in
What?
accord?
Yeah, if I can.
Great.
Let me get this straight. If we do it, we're going to get rid of this Corin
Yeah,
bloke, right?
we're getting rid of the Corin bloke, yes.
The bloke, Corin.
I mean, the
And
farmers,
they'll us. They'll us.
in the simplest sense, if we were ever trying to sneak around them or take them by surprise, for whatever reason, that rat bastard's the only one that would probably see me coming.
Right. Okay. Mercy, you can alter fate. The sending scroll is a little above what I can do at the moment, so would you mind ensuring it goes well for me?
Well, I can try. Let me
Ben,
see.
What importance do you have? I can roll them, but we could just guarantee it.
I got a 9, a 12, and a 20.
No, 12 would be good.
12 will do. Okay. All right. So, what could go wrong? I guess your posture, your pronunciation. Do you need components for a scroll?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think
Okay.
the scroll itself burns up as the component, I believe.
Okay. So I just the eyes kind of slide a milky white, and I just say in a kind of haunting, weird, echoey voice, "It's Leviosa, not Leviosa."
Esme just squints his eyes at Mercy, like, I don't really know what you mean, but thank you. I'll
Make
get
sure
this
to enunciate.
sending
We're on all
scroll
the
out.
wrong sides at the moment. Like,
I'll enunciate it so well, thanks to Mercy's helpful reminder.
Great. So I foresee the ways in which Casimir fucks this up, and I gently guide him to the successful 12.
Alright, plus my int, that's a solid 17. And Fazul will hear in his head, hello, Ivor here. Be smart about this information. Corin working for Razor, be careful. Razor coming for you in 5 days. We're coming to help.
persuasion check.
Wait, don't you have one more word available on that spell?
No, I added the extra one in. That was 25, not 24.
Well, if you had one extra, you could have just added cunt.
Wait,
At the end of it.
don't roll. If ever we need a good fucking roll, it's now. Jamie, I'm
No,
using a
okay.
20.
Okay.
That's a good use of the money.
The
Nice.
dice is in my hand. He's gone nowhere. You're dropping a natural 20 on this.
I'm dropping a natural 20 on it. I think it's that important.
Oh man,
I think-
Fazul's
I mean,
gonna be so in love with Casimir
It's
after
the
this.
sultriest voice you've ever heard.
But considering that we've spent this long literally deciding on who we're going to send it to, what we're going to say,
Yeah.
you to roll a nat 1 on persuasion would be, I mean, it would be
Abominable.
poetic, but, you know.
The amount of honor I've just gained in this. It's like, hello, Fazul. How are you?
That's how the voice comes across.
Zul, my darling.
My precious baby boy. Kisses
Alright.
from daddy.
You'll need to fucking stop.
All right, kitten.
No, that needs to stop. That needs to stop. That is not
You
canon.
need to stop.
I refuse to admit that was canon.
Right.
That's not
That's a sticker. All right, kitten. That's a sticker.
If I would not fuck up the overlays, I would have left right that fucking second.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Message received. Don't think this means I owe you one. We're barely even. That's it.
And Casimir just says to no. Oh, it fucking does though, doesn't it?
I just so you know, Jess, I think it's about 3 seconds away from walking out the door as well. So
She is welcome to find refuge at my house. She
She
is safe from you here.
She can come to Croydon, it's probably safer.
Jess is the most patient of wives.
He's just gonna straighten his cuffs and huff and say, "Message received. Let's go."
Your
finally-
Majesty, you seem quite flustered.
I don't know what you mean.
No? Jamie, is Casimir blushing at all? Do we get any kind of like...
don't know why you're asking me.
I don't know, I'm just like, can I roll a
Got
dice?
insight.
It's not my
Do you
character.
want to roll a contested roll? We can do that.
Yeah, hello, let's go.
100%.
Ow. My cat just jumped off my lap because she was... Oh god.
Get fucked.
Have you rolled really high?
Not really high. It's pretty good.
I rolled an 18 and I have a +4 to insight.
No.
So I rolled a 22.
I got a 20. I got a 21.
I rolled a 19 plus 2, so I rolled a 21.
Tell me your secrets, bitch. Does Casimir look
Huh.
flustered?
Not in a genuinely angry way. It's not in a saucy uwu kind of way. It's definitely not that.
Saucy ooh,
It's the kind
way.
of frustration when you're trying not to at least have enjoyed an not in like in any weird way, but just like, you know, when you talk to someone you go, yeah, that was cool. He's trying not to feel that way about it. But probably there's an element of, fuck, maybe I don't hate him as much as I insist.
Understandable. Very well, let's carry on.
That was so much fun. I love voting.
I
I mean,
smile
never
at Casimir.
really felt like it did very much because just the elders always just did what they wanted to. But you know,
Don't touch me, Massey.
it's good to feel involved.
As you're all beginning to pack up and leave, Pod,
Hmm?
you find a small carved figurine of a frog in your things, and it just says, and there's a little scrap of paper with it. It says, "Young man, please give this to your rude friend. It will remind him to be polite."
Oh my god, yes.
I mean, I know in game how in this would be to do it, but like, I mean, I'm really sorry, but I rolled a nat 1 on discovering whether this person was fey touched or a hag. Like, he genuinely believes that this is a useless,
He's a nice young.
a helpless.
Today he will
old
learn manners.
crone.
As
You know, and like he comes from quite a patriarchal society. Respecting your elders was everything. Elders were the things that they were the core of.
Yeah, go on,
of
just do it.
society.
Eski.
So-
Just
so,
do
yeah.
it.
No, but he wouldn't like he wouldn't slip it. He would try and give it to you. He would offer it to you.
Okay. How?
He just when he realizes he's in his pocket, he would have a slight golem moment, wanting to keep it for himself because it's a cool little frog statue. But overcome by that, being a holy man that he is not so easily swayed by greed. He would then walk over to Mercy and just go, I think this is for you.
Oh,
The nice old lady gave it to you.
Pod, you didn't make this. This isn't yours.
No, I just found it in my pocket.
And the nice old lady told you to give it to me.
Yes, with this note. And he shows the note. No reason to doubt that there's any sort of nefarious nature to it.
Pod, that is cursed. If you give that to me, you will curse me.
I don't think it is cursed.
No, no, it's unfair. That's mean.
It is absolutely cursed.
What, the frog or the letter?
The frog.
The frog is cute. I mean, is this like a cute looking frog? Is this the kind of thing that Jess would like?
Yeah,
or is
yeah,
this
Jess
like
would like it. Yeah, it looks cute.
It's not like photorealistic. It's got some kind of
No,
charm.
no,
to
it's a
it.
cute little frog, like big,
Oh, yeah.
like nice eyes and cute little legs.
Oh, come on! Look at it! It's not cursed. Look at it.
I don't know. You are not that intelligent, but I hope that you are honest enough to accept that I am not trying to lie to you. I'm trying to help you. Please believe me when I say that is cursed. That was a hag. It was not trying to help you
No, I know.
or me.
I've met a hag before, and I know what the face smells like, and she wasn't a hag. I don't think she was a hag.
What do you smell when you smell me, Pod?
I smell a man. I mean, you could maybe do with a little bit of soap, but I mean, we've all been out in the wilderness for a while. I can't blame you for it.
That is my point.
Wait, what do you smell when you smell me?
You smell kind of like nice mushrooms.
Oh, thank you.
Specifically nice ones.
Yes.
Pod,
Nice
I could check that item for you if you'd like and try to figure out what it is.
Sure, but make sure it goes to Echeprosi. It's for him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You could actually just keep holding it, and I will check it right now while it's in your hands.
Feel free.
And Toad will reach out and touch the item while it's in Pod's hand. So he's not taking the item. It is still in Pod's possession, but he is touching it. And he will cast Identify. Ah, wait. Material components. Are we playing with those in this campaign? Do I need a pearl worth at least 100 GP and an owl feather?
For identify.
Yeah.
Right, are those the components for identify?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
I don't think anybody has ever used those.
No.
Respect, component, respect.
Bin.
What are you supposed to was in the bin, man?
Would it make sense? Oh, wait, hold on. Casimir,
Yeah, well,
would I be able to
How do you-
borrow one of those pearls from your
Yeah.
chicken?
You can cast it as a ritual for free. Yeah, if you want to cast it instantly, it requires it. I think you can cast it for a ritual for free. Is the way it works.
Oh.
To his question, he looks so appalled. He's like, "These are the finest pearls from Sacramar. Do you know how rare these are?"
Are they worth about 100 gold pieces?
You would know that it needs to be worth 100 gold pieces. You have no concept of
No,
money.
no.
Can't count to 100. What are you talking about?
If it's worth 99, this isn't going to work.
You make me talk to Fazul Chembrel in the morning, and then you try to steal the clothes off my back. I don't think so.
Well, I'm
no,
not
he
trying.
asked. He didn't. He's not trying to steal it.
Okay,
He did ask.
hold on. No. I'm not trying to take your clothes off. That's Fazul. I was just asking for one of your pearls.
When did Fazul try to take your clothes off?
Well, when he slammed Casimir up against the wall in his bedroom. What
No,
he spoke
apparently
about
he's more
earlier.
interested in taking Kwan's off, so...
Well, this is why I said it's a love triangle.
Yeah.
Anyway, can I have one of your pearls so I can check to see if this item is cursed?
No.
Oh. I'm afraid I don't have any pearls, Pod, so I don't think I can help you right now. Sorry.
Ritual cast it.
I'm not a ritual caster, so...
You don't have to be a
We've
ritual.
never played with
Okay.
No, this is madness.
Okay, then I'll just
You don't
cast
have
it.
to do it.
Big up components. Big up.
I'll cast it. Okay.
It depends. Like,
Only,
the river
only,
fire,
only
like-
some things have components. Identify is not one of them in the past. So
Yeah.
go for it.
Oh wait, well
Um,
I can cast these without expending a spell slot, so
Go for it.
Using a ritual. Ritual's fine. So ritually, because most of the time with Identify, we ritually cast it. It takes 10 minutes. You cast it. Yeah, this is a cursed frog idol. It allows the hag, in this case represented by me, to choose to insert a natural 1 in any roll once per day
What's day?
for the holder of this item.
Pod, I am afraid to say that this item is cursed, and perhaps we should find a way to get rid of it.
Oh, it's so cute. That's such a shame.
I know.
Is it a
Oh,
good
well, we
curse?
can-
What
we can
curse
get-
is it?
He just
Well-
puts it back in his pocket and goes, "We can get rid of it later. That's fine. We'll we'll remember."
It causes the holder to have quite terrible luck nearly every day.
Oh, I might have had it earlier then. Well,
I know it kind of sounds like you
Casimir
already.
just
Pod.
grabs Arvus's forearm. Didn't you say sabotage, Arvus? Why don't we take this frog charm and, I don't know, give it to Malik?
Or we could give it to Razor.
Yes.
But she is who we're trying to take down, right? So
Yes, we are trying to kill the bandit, but petty vengeance on our rivals is more appealing, frankly. Anyway,
Friends.
I leave that choice for the group.
Pod,
Mm-hmm.
my advice would be is to very much leave that in the mud, so that and get as far away from it as possible. But whether you do or don't, keep it away from me. The rest of you.
That's fun. I've already put it in my pocket. You don't have to have it. I think it's
oh.
quite neat, actually.
The sun is quite high now. I'm just conscious that we should probably be moving on if we're to make the 30th ruling.
Yes, onwards to Reed Home and slipping frogs into Malik's pockets.
So, I will say we'll do the given the time and given what we talk about afterwards and the week I've had, we'll probably leave the session as you break camp. I know it's short. I apologize. And we'll do the next set of travel relatively quickly. You should prepare to arrive in Reed Home next session. I'll also maybe 1 or 2 rolls, and there might be 1 or 2 obstacles, but we shall see. Prepare for what you want to do when you get there, what your plans are if you're going to ambush Razor. I will say that if you roll well on travel, you will arrive just before Razor gets there. If you don't roll well, you will arrive after. So do prepare a plan for either eventuality.
Could we roll that now, so we're not
Sure.
planning for
That's a
fate
good
if it
idea. There will be 4 rolls to make over the next 4 days.
is this
It
a
will be-
survival roll?
This is a survival check, and whoever rolls has advantage because of Casimir's history, but it will be individual rolling. So if you wanted to nominate 4 separate rollers.
I would like to roll, as I am quite good at pathfinding.
I mean, I have
I should roll.
very high survival. I just, despite the instincts of.
If you're
Bob,
interested
somehow,
in not
he seems to always
failing,
survive.
but you won't get to roll. If you would like to just have a high number, I'm happy to portend the roll.
Oh, true, because if this is over 4 days, you'll have 4 days of new portents, right? Do you already have the next 4 days of portents mapped out?
Is that how it works?
I do.
Yeah, he's got like a spreadsheet
Okay.
with all of them in.
You need to. So, given that you went for Ilara, the DC is higher. You need an average of 15 over these 4 days of survivals to get there before Razor does.
Okay. I think I've got a pretty good chance of rolling, especially if it's with advantage, right?
I've got a +5 to survival.
And I
don't know.
will say not to nerf Ben ever so slightly, Mercy. But given that this is a whole day check, if you like, I will work out how I want portents to interact with this, but it's not the whole thing. I would say portents can be added, but it will be an average of your roll. So if Ben rolls an 18 and you roll a 10 with advantage, the average will be 14 for that day. You can just add the portents to it rather than it being its own separate roll, or just like superseding the roll.
Interesting. Okay.
So if 4 of you with advantage roll survival for the next 4 days, Ben, if you want to give your highest number, you as a group can decide
I want to stay
to.
with my
And you
minus
need
1.
over 15
Ooh.
for
Wait,
Razor.
how many times am I rolling?
No, not you. No, don't. As in, like the group needs to nominate who they want to roll survival.
Oh,
but
okay,
you,
okay.
you got, but to keep it interactive for everyone, it's different people each time. So 4 out of the 6 of you need to roll survival with advantage, and then Ben needs to say what his portent is for each of those days.
It's got to be like
I've rolled.
Quan.
Well, the thing is like my survival is pretty good, but it's me rolling. So
we have
Okay.
to decide.
What's your highest roll?
So I rolled a 1, so I'm really glad this was at advantage because my other roll is a 15 and I have a +6 to survival, so that's a 21.
21. Okay. What's your portents roll for the first day, Ben?
I had a 16, a 15, and a 19, and I crossed off the 19.
Okay, so you won't add to that because it will lower this overall score. Next person.
I have
Your
a
average at the moment is
+5.
21. Hi, Izzy.
Mr. Pod.
I have a +5.
Yeah.
So I'll go.
Sure.
I'll go.
Yeah,
So is
cinnamon.
it advantage? Or
Yes, it is advantage because of Kazimier's
Okay,
not
the first
map making
one-
history.
first one was a 14. The second one was a 8. So unfortunately, 14 is the highest that I have for that.
14, sure. Portents rolls.
19 again.
19, sure. So the average of these is you are at 16.5 for that day.
Mhm.
So your overall average at the moment is
Made it, boys.
so it equals this plus this divided by 2. Your average at the moment for these days is 18.75. You need to be above 15 overall. So next person.
I feel
you
like
have
I'm
2
gambling right now. This is so stressful.
Yeah,
No, we're playing blackjack. Let's go.
Blackjack. This
Going once,
blackjack.
going
I hit
twice, going important.
I hit.
Rolling.
We're in the
I got a
casino.
survival of 0, so
That's your buffer. You have a buffer of 3.75.
I think Quan's up next.
who's next?
Quan's up next for sure.
Let's go, Quan.
Come on, Psyduck.
Don't pressure me.
You
Don't.
can roll above a 5. I know you can.
I believe in you.
We
I'm gonna
believe in you.
pray to Pelor.
Please, Pelor. Fate god that you are.
21.
21.
It's banging.
Okay.
21.
21?
Give it,
Savage.
Praise Pelor!
Yes!
given that portents can't help here, that's fine. I'll leave that alone. Next person.
Whoa!
Oh, who's last?
Anybody got a positive modifier for wisdom?
Mine's negative. I'm a -1.
So I think that
Mercy?
leaves it
I
to
could
Mercy.
roll, but shall I just? What shall I do with the portent? Shall I take the 17, or shall I use the 17 and then roll differently?
Oh,
separately?
use the 17. That's guaranteed.
No,
higher,
you
right?
can't. You so the portents will just
Okay.
average out with that number. So your current average is 19.5. You're gonna have to roll really poorly to not.
Yeah,
to-
roll it, my guy. Roll
Okay,
it.
I got a
So
plus
your
three.
roll.
I got a natural
That's a
20.
natural.
Okay, fine. You succeed. Your average
Yes!
is like 21. You arrive. So
Needing a
prepare
range
for
of
next
eyes.
session. You will arrive approximately what you believe you will arrive before Razor. So you will be in Reed home and meet the other party before they meet with Razor, but they will have
see.
already been contacted. So that is what you need to prepare for.
So you're saying
I'm-
that we will get to interact with Fazul next session?
Aaron, go.
The great pot stirrer.
I'm gonna be up to
continues
some
to stir.
shenanigans. I'm gonna make sure that this ship sails.
You know what, Aaron? Toad better watch himself next session.
Why?
Okay.
Oh,
And
wait,
with that,
I
with that, thank you everybody for watching. Appreciate it. Thank you everyone for playing. I know it was slightly low energy today, and you did spend all day in camp, so I appreciate everybody carrying the session. So thank you very much, and we will catch you all next week.
And
Fun.
as a reminder, we are playing on Thursday next week. So if you're looking for schedule changes, please do consider joining our Discord, where we have all of our updates and lots of funny memes, artwork, and written recaps of every session that Clued writes. So you can check them out there if you are interested in becoming a regular viewer of the stream.
Ben's just sent a cast meme.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at it after this. Thank you so much, Dutch Dragons crew, for raiding and coming and stopping by, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Hold tight, Raiders.
Bye bye.
Bye everyone, take care.
See y'all, Raiders.
Bye bye.